So this is December 26th, right? What day? Monday. And we are in BBIS class, and we have Prasamsa and Pratiksha presenting on the essay boys. Boys.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm presenting an article on
Listen to her. Hello.
Boys Will Be Boys by Barbara Campbell and Claudia Gall. Boys Will Be Boys
I take my book.
is an article that explores the differences in emotional and social development between boys and girls. This article also tackles on the challenges that boys face by traditional masculine roles. The research studies each and every aspect of male psychology. It shows that boys are raised with special consideration for their needs, and boys are more likely to commit crimes than girls. Boys, many boys are also diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, which is that they cannot give attention to something for a longer period of time compared to girls. They also outnumber girls in special education and mental health issues. Due to the higher level of testosterone, boys have anger-related problems and they are more aggressive and more impulsive. There are 3 crisis points given in this article or essay. The first crisis point is that the crisis point in boys begin at the age of 5, 6 or 7 compared to girls, which starts as 10, 11 and 12. We can also see the problems of bedwetting and separation anxiety in boys at the age of 5, 6 and 7 in the first crisis point. They also want to develop a big boy behavior where they want to be like a macho person at an early age. They have to choose between warmth, for the need of warmth and desire, and the independence. So most of the boys, they actually choose for independence rather than warmth or desire for need. They also replace the normal feelings like love and their positive emotions, and they shut down all the positive emotions and the need for love, and they have a kind of social pressure which causes them to be more angrier than girls. So in the second crisis point, boys are meant to be like, they have a drive to be real guys, and they want to do things which is very masculine, or which they seem to think of kind of masculine, and anything tender or compassive or compassionate is too artistic for boys, and they are mislabeled as gays. They also fail to ask for desired attention, and they do not come and talk like girls normally do. Now I like that, but the presentation is
Okay.
The two authors start this article by pointing out that boys and girls come from two different planets. They are two
I think I can remove the mask. Your voice will be clear in the audio. Yeah.
They have two different precise states of emotional and social development. Where things go seriously wrong, the author both feel that boys need to more attention because they are the one who is more likely to experience their emotional and social behavior. They are the one who are more likely to have discipline problem at school. And both authors use many interesting studies and statistics to help the reader understand the differences of boys and girls. The study that caught my eye is the one that was done by Children's Hospital in Rolleston, where boys maybe are proven more emotionally expressive than girls who tend to be more reflective. This was picked up when the researchers noticed that for the most of the boys would cry when they are unhappy, whereas the girl would stop their thumb. Out of this study came the conclusion that girls intently could be more able to control their emotion than boys. Parents can do things including teaching and their children by example, especially when boys they can challenge their son's energy into constructive activities like sports and encouraging qualities such as empathy. Thank you.
Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk. Come from this side. I want to talk to you, both of you girls. Let's tell, how did you prepare this presentation? Personally, give us honest answer.
First, we both of us sat and read the essay,
Mm.
and we picked out the major points,
Mm.
and I pointed them out in my notebook.
Mm.
Then I took some help from Google
Mm.
for
What
the,
help did you exactly take from Google?
for the crisis points,
Mm.
and I told Pratiksha to prepare short
Ah.
whole summaries, kind of, and yeah.
Pratiksha, how did you prepare the summary of what she said to prepare? How did you prepare?
We just read the book,
Mm.
and we just summarize from
You read the essay. Actually, when you were presenting, what I was wondering was that I wanted you to move paragraph wise through the essay point by point. For example, there are 21 paragraphs in the essay, and which present a chronological structure of the essay. But you were so fast presenting points that I began to have a doubt whether you have read the essay or not. Now you are saying you have read, I believe, but you presented the content so fast that it went over my head.
I just
And-
read summary, but she said paragraph wise.
Okay.
Crisis.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. Uh, Now, can I invite the next people who are assigned for next essay? Abriti and Ashvi were assigned sex, size, and conversation. Why men and women can't just listen to that. Sex, size, and conversation. Why men and women can't communicate.
Good morning, everyone. We are here to present Chapter 4, Code Reading 3, Sex, Size, and Conversation, Why Men and Women Can't Communicate. In this article, the writer, Deborah Tanning, explores cross-cultural differences in the ways females and males use language and the frustrations these differences cause when women and men converse.
Can you write that there? This is cross to point limit. You said the right thing. Cross cultural. This is about cross cultural and gender differences in the way men and women use language, and how not understanding assumptions of men and women about language can cause frustration. This is an interesting essay that shows that women use language one way for one purpose, whereas men use language another way for another purpose. And when you don't know how your husband uses language, then when you communicate with your husband, you might have frustrations and irritations resulting from that lack of understanding of how men use language. Okay, go ahead.
Deborah Tanning explores cross-cultural differences in the ways females and males use language and the frustrations these differences cause when women and men converse. She starts with an anecdote about a woman and a man who are lost. The woman wants to ask for directions and the man doesn't. Tannen outlines the major differences in the ways females and males use languages.
The essay opens with a story. The husband is driving a car, wife is sitting by the side, they come to a crossroad, they do not know which turn to take, and then the wife says, why not ask somebody? And the husband says, no, let me try. So the husband is not ready to seek help, whereas wife is willing to seek help and solve the problem. And what we don't understand is that the husband does not want to compromise his status. So men use language to maintain their hierarchy and status. Women use language to solve the problems. So in the very first story, the wife says, ask direction and let's move. Done. The man says, no, if I ask him which way, I'll prove I don't know. And as a man, I don't want to show that I don't know something. Yes, go on.
Beginning in early childhood, girls learn to use language to share feelings with their female friends and to create a sense of closeness. Boys, on the other hand, learn to use language to establish their independence and compete with their male
The first part,
friends.
very well.
Beginning in early childhood, girls learn to use language to share feelings with their female friends.
Language for sharing feeling was त्यो वर्ड के जान्दैन भने त्यो पढाउन जान्दैन कि उनीहरू फेरि भन्छ टिच गर्न जान्दैन त्यहाँ लेखेको छ बल्ल अडियन्सले सुन्छ टिप्छ अनि बुझ्छ कोही कोही फेरि पढिदिन्छ अनि पढ्दा त पनि पढिदिन्छ मैले पढ्न मात्रै हुन्छ त त्यहाँ लेख्नु पऱ्यो नि त You are not a teacher, that's a very normal thing. I am a teacher. But I expect you that you will be like me to explain. And explain गर्दैन अहिले पनि खुइ 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 पुरा पोखर गयो नि तपाईँ यहाँबाट गयो कि कति छिटो बोल्यो होला भन्ने When I call you here, I feel like you act like a teacher and you teach like a teacher. It's all right. Girls use language to share feeling. अब यहाँ एउटा लाइन त नि यहाँ बोइज को लेखा छ Throughout the essay, the author compares how boys use language and how girls use language. So, point by point, we'll compare. What I wish was that I wish you had a PowerPoint slide. You could show, so class would see the point. So, I recommend that you come with PowerPoint slider. On the slides, do not download from YouTube and Google. Make your own slides. Available. If you slide, slides.com No. Don't borrow slide, return it. You develop your slides. Yes, go ahead.
Boys, on the other hand, learn to use language to establish their independence and compete with their male friends. By spending
So, women use language to share feelings. Men use language to assert their status. See the difference, right? Yes, go on.
By spending more time, boys preserve their independence and self-respect. Tannen's basic contention is that females use language to make connections and foster intimacy.
Women use language to make connections. I don't see. Women use language to make connections. Women use language to make connections. If you do not understand something and you want to understand it better, you should write it. Because when you write something, you start understanding it. कुनै कुरा बुझेन भने त्यो के बुझाएको छ त्यसलाई बुझ्ने लेख्न खोज्ने. As you write, your brain starts working and you start understanding.
Females use language to make connections and foster intimacy, whereas males use language to preserve independence and negotiate status. According to Talent, females use language to negotiate intimacy. Language helps women share feelings, make connections, and create a sense of closeness and harmony. In contrast, males tend to use language to preserve independence and negotiate their status. Language helps men remain the center of attention, challenge and compete with others, and demonstrate knowledge and verbal agility. Talent means that although people like to see themselves as unique individuals, they are always a product of their culture.
We are product of culture. And how we use language depends on what culture we come from.
Tannen goes on to give a number of examples of the ways in which these difficult expectations about the functions of language continue into adulthood and cause for problems.
Yeah, what you learn as a child, as a girl and boy, the same expectations continue when you grow older, when you get married. Yes. And then?
Or examples involve conversations such as one in the opening anecdote and the ways in which women use language to create intimacy and harmony and men to enhance their status and challenge others.
You can finish the whole book in one week. Yes, go on.
I'm going to start from paragraph 9.
Okay, para 9. Okay.
In this paragraph, a woman complains about her boss and one of her colleagues try to explain his boss' point of view, but she thinks as an attack, but it was just his suggestion. For example, one man told him that my girlfriend just wants to talk about her point of view, and she just feels that he's not supporting her but supporting the boss. But conversation among women are usually a mutual support and exploration. Alternative views are praised, but not as a direct challenge. So this is one of the many ways that men value oppositional stances, whereas women value harmonious ones. Which means
men value oppositional stances, women value harmonious stances. Women always use language to become friends. Men use language to challenge. Men use language to challenge. Women do not use language to challenge. Women are looking for enemies and challenges. We are looking for friends. So they use language to become closer. Women use language to come closer, establish connections, develop relationships, make friends. Men use language to show that they are independent, right? Yes, go on.
A woman was hurt when she heard her husband telling the guest about his daily activities, and like she felt that he was not being honest when she had asked him about what he had done in his work, but he didn't. But for him, it was an experience to put in a dinner party, as he had to start one conversation. So men think that they should not. They are not
good at they are not good at putting things, as he just feels that if there is some like silence in any dinner party and all, like he should sat in conversation. But as a wife, she thinks that his husband was not honest.
The husband, when his wife says, "के बात है ऑफिस में?" The husband says, "के बात है ना, छोड़ दो ना." But when a guest says, another man says, look, when the woman asked "के बात है," the man said nothing. But when another man says "के बात है," the man tells the whole story. किनभने अर्को लोग्ने मान्छेसँग बोल्दाखेरि त he has to compete with his status. उसलाई देखाउनु पर्यो नि त, ठुलो मान्छे भएर. So he will tell the story. So when a man speaks to another man, he will speak more. A man will tend to speak a lot when conversing with a man. They will let the challenge from the other. But when a man is conversing with a woman, the man will tend to speak less. He assumes, female challenger. The man thinks that the woman can't challenge his status, so he won't talk a lot with the woman. And the woman, when the man doesn't speak much, woman feels the man is not being honest. Because for the woman, speaking is also one way of showing your intimacy to people. Yes, go on.
Thus, it isn't that women always talk more when men are turned and sixteen, which means unfriendly. Like women think that men are not friendly enough, but because they have their own character, men and women, they are different. So women just talk to start in conversation, but men just want to just feels like competing when he starts talking about anything.
Women talk more at home. Men talk more in public. Research shows that women talk more in homely environment, among friends and family, whereas men talk less at home because they think at home their hierarchy is not challenged by anybody. But in public, they will talk more because they constantly feel threatened by other people. So they will, to maintain their independence, they will talk a lot. त्यो हेरेर बाहिर बोलेमा चाहिँ क्याम्पसबाट बाहिर पनि त्यो कुनै ग्रुपमा डिस्कसन भइरहेछ भने लोग्ने मान्छेहरू चाहिँ धेरै इन्टरभ्यू गर्छ कि अनि आफू जान्ने भएर बोल्छ उसले ठुलो हुनुपर्छ उसले जित्नुपर्छ फिमेललाई हेरेर चाहिँ त्यसरी बोल्दैन फिमेलले एकदमै त्यो सफ्ट भएर बोल्छ किन पर्पज के हुन्छ मेनको पर्पज के हो टु डोमिनेट अदर्स टु सो आम सुपिरियर women don't have that purpose women purpose के हो to become friends. So the very purpose of using language is different. Okay? Women use language to build relationship, to gain intimacy, to make friends. Men use language to challenge others, to show their independence, to maintain their hierarchy. Yes.
Women talk more at home as it creates intimacy, but for men it's not the same. Since men regard talk as means to negotiate status, they often say no need to talk at home. So, but they talk more in public situations. For example, at a meeting when questions are solicited, when questions are asked, majority of men try to answer them. When the phones are open on a radio talk show, the vast majority calls are from men who are likely to speak at length, giving introduction to their questions and addressing multiple topics.
Good. What I like about your presentation is that you went through the thick. I like that. I want you to present like this. Ask you I'm not comparing, take it easy. But I want to text much here. line 10 I like that. Thank you, well done. Yes, we have something. Yes. Sorry.
Normalizing in a group of generalizing about group of people makes us nervous, as we think we are an unique individual and not representing of any stereotypes. But it is more dangerous to ignore this kind of pattern than to articulate them, which means sharing ability to speak. If women and men have different ways of talking, then expecting them to be same just leads us to disappointment.
Understand that men and women have different ways of talking, And do not expect your husband or wife to have same assumption that you have. Understand that they use language differently. If you understand this thing, you won't have frustration in your married life because of language.
Unaware of conversational style difference, we fall on mutual blame like you don't listen to us.
अब हस्बेन्ड बोल्दैन र अहिले के भन्छ ए यु डोन्ट लिसन टु मी भन्छ वाइफले हस्बेन्ड के भन्छ कति बोलिरहने ट्याप गरिरहने भन्छ हस्बेन्डले इफ यु डोन्ट नो द कन्भर्सेसन स्टाइल्स अफ इच अदर हस्बेन्ड वाइफ यु विल बी फ्रस्ट्रेटेड यस
Realizing that partner's behavior is not his or her individual fault, but it is a normal expression of genders and
normal expression of gender
lifts this burden of blame of disappointment. It's better way that we think that women have their own ways of talking and men have their own. So if we understand each other, then it will be easy to be in a relationship.
If we understand that we both have different ways of talking, it will be easy for us and we will win our relationships. Good.
Surprisingly, even after years of marriage, after 57 years of marriage, the parents still discuss about having the difference. Like when the mother read the book, the book name is "You Just Don't Understand: Women and Men in Conversation." The mother thinks that it was just the daddy, which means the men did not listen. But it was a natural thing that women speak more than men.
After seeing the book, she was surprised. Right? And now she said, oh, now I understand why your father speaks like that. Is that right? Yes.
So understanding gender difference in ways of talking is the first step towards changing.
Okay, wait. Understanding gender difference in the ways of talking is the first step towards changing your relationship and making it good.
Not knowing that people of the other gender have different ways of talking and different assumption about the place of talk in relationship, people assume they are doing things right and their partners are doing things wrong.
You will blame one another, right? If you don't understand, yes.
Then no one will be motivated to change. So if you constantly keep accusing your partner for the behavior, it will just lead to bad relationships. So you need to understand each other's behavior and all. So if they are not motivated to change it, then it would be more difficult. So when they think of the difference across culture, people find that they and their partner are willing and even eager to make small adjustments and the relationship will improve.
Ashvi, after having read this essay, how have you better understanding about men and how they talk? And how will this essay make your future married life easier?
I think men, their behavior is just they just want to compete and talk when they talk, but women they just feel like starting a conversation and make a friendly environment.
Was this essay interesting for you? Did you like this essay?
Yeah, because I got to know about how men behave.
You had a better understanding of men after reading the essay, right? Thank you so much. एसैमा छिर अनि एसैमा छिरेर प्याराफोइट हो कि अलि युवा दास त्यो नेटमा गएर नोट ल्याएर बुझे पढ्ने काम नगर्दैन कसरी गरिरहेछ भने चाहिँ राम्रै गरिरहेछ मेरो मन के हो भन्दाखेरि प्रेजेन्ट गर्न आउँछौ नि त तिम्रो कारणले क्लास पनि त पाठ गर्नु पर्यो नि सुनिरहेको छ मेरो कुरा तिम्रो प्रेजेन्टेसनको कारणले क्लास रिलेसन गर्नु पर्यो कि आत्म पर्दैन ठिक छ नेक्स्ट ल कसरी लाग्यो प्रेजेन्ट गरेर के हो त छ नि अर्को छ नि यो एकदमै रियल हुन्छ त्यसले घरमा के हुन्छ भने स्पिक नेपाली अब यो पाठ जो घरमा जोड्नु भयो नि त प्राय म घर गएपछि मिसेसले अफिस बारे सोध्छिन्, कसलाई भेटाएको थियो भनेर सोध्छिन्, अनि कहाँ गएको थियो भनेर सोध्छिन्, अनि उनले बोलेको कुराको धेरै उत्तर दिन मन लाग्छ। अनि जाँदा जाँदै उनले केही सोझे मेरो भन्ने बानी के छ भने मैले रिसाउँछु म, अनि के भन्छु भने म पुलिस चौकी आएको हो कि घर आएको भन्छु। मेरो अर्थ के भन्दाखेरि भर्खर आएको छु घरमा होइन, भर्खर ब्याग राखेको छु, अब थकाइ नै बढ्न पाएको छैन, तिमी चाहिँ क्वेसनमाथि क्वेसन गर्छौ, म चौकीमा आएको घर आएको भन्छु। अनि उनी रिसाउँछ, तपाईँ माया गर्नुहुन्न मलाई भन्छ। किनभने उनको लागि माया के हो भन्दाखेरि हस्बेन्ड आएपछि आनन्दले बोलोस् है, राम्रै हो हस्बेन्ड आएको। अब उनको लागि माया के हो, अफिसबाट हस्बेन्ड आएपछि बसेर सोफामा उनीसँग मजाले गफ गरोस्, इन्टिमेट कुरा गरोस्, राइट। अब मलाई के हुन्छ, म दिनभरि थाकेर घर पुग्छु नि त, म घर पुगेर थाकेर हुन्छु कि टायर्ड हुन्छु नि त। अनि टायर्ड भएपछि मलाई घरमा गएपछि आरामले बस्न मन लाग्छ, जो मलाई कोही नबोलोस्, दिनभरि सबैसँग बोलिरहेको हुन्छु कि। अनि म आधी घन्टा 1 घन्टा मसँग कोही नबोलोस्, म चुपचाप शान्त भएर बस्न चाहन्छु कि। अनि उनी के जान्छन् बिचरा हस्बेन्डलाई कहाँ के भयो होला, दिनभरि गाह्रो भयो होला, दुःख भयो कि भोकी बस्यो कि भनेर उनी सोध्न सुरु गर्छन्। म चाहिँ बोल्न चाहन्न, उनी बोल्न खोज्छन्, अनि झगडा पर्छ हाम्रो। एउटा यो अर्को चाहिँ जस्तै कुनै पनि कुरामा उनले धेरै एक्सप्लेनेसन खोज्छिन् कि, कुनै पनि कुरामा डिटेल कुरा खोज्छिन्। म चाहिँ सानो थोरै कुरा भन्छु, अनि भइगयो बढेको त किन चाहियो भन्छु, अनि उनले मलाई भन्नु पर्दैन भन्छ, अनि झगडा सुरु हुन्छ। तेस्रो चाहिँ उनी फोनमा बोल्छिन्, म सुनेर आउँछु यताबाट आडा बसेर आउँछु नि त, अनि उनी फोनमा बोल्दाखेरि उनको स्टोरी लामो कुरा गर्ने कि एकदम डिटेल, कुनै कुरा भन्नु पऱ्यो नि एकदम केस्रा भन्नु, कुनै कुरा छ भने त्यो त्यसको केस्रा केलाई सबै कुरा गर्ने कि। अनि म आडा हुन्छु, अनि म दिक्क लाग्छ, यति कुरा गरेर त्यही बन्द गर भन्छु कि, अनि रिसाउँछ, तपाईँलाई के चाहियो भने मैले यति लामो गफ गर्नुपर्छ, छिटो भन्न सक्दिनँ भन्छु। अनि तपाईँलाई के चाहियो, तपाईँ के टाउको दुख्यो भन्छ कि। अनि उनको बानी चाहिँ लामो कुरा गर्ने, अनि खुबै गफ गर्ने। अब फिमेलहरूको जस्तो अब च्याट हुन्छ, अब घरमा चाहिँ उनी हाउसवाइफ भएको नाता घर बस्छन्, टाइम पास पनि गर्नु पऱ्यो। अनि खाना खाएपछि घाममा बस्यो, अनि फोन लगायो, अनि एउटालाई फोन लगायो, अनि त्यससँग कुरा गर्यो, अर्कोलाई फोन कुरा गर्यो, कुनै गरेर दिन जान्छ नि त अफिसमा गएपछि है। अनि हामी त बाहिर काम गर्छौँ, अनि त्यहाँबाट हामीलाई के भन्छ भन्दाखेरि घरमा वाइफले धेरै कुरा गरेर मन नपर्ने कि। अनि हामीलाई चाहिँ यो यति कुरा किन गर्नु पऱ्यो, अरू कुनै काम गरेर हुन्थ्यो भने हामीलाई चाहिँ हाम्रो दिमागमा चाहिँ यो वाइफले चाहिँ यति धेरै कुरा गरेर किन बस्नु पऱ्यो, यो कुनै कुरा पढ्यो हुँदैन, कुनै कुरा लेख्यो हुँदैन, कुनै काम गर्यो भने हामीलाई हुँदो रहेछ। उनीहरू त काम त गर्छ नि त, लुगा धुन्छ, घर सफा गर्छ, किचनमा काम गर्छ, बिहान चाहिँ खाना पकाएर पनि चाँडो लाग्छ। मलाई थाहा छ, म कहिलेकाहीँ वाइफ बिरामी भएर किचनमा पस्छु, मलाई थाहा छ बिहान 5 बजी किचनमा पस्यो भने सबैसँग 10 बज्छ बिहान, अनि बेलुका चाहिँ 5-6 बजीतिर किचनमा पस्यो भने सबैसँग 10 बज्छ। 4 देखि 5 घन्टा लाग्छ बिहान बेलुकी मोबाइलले गर्दा सोध्छ। तर हामीले के सोचाइन्छ, यो त केही नि जस्तो लाग्छ हामीले, राइट। अनि हामी के चाहन्छौँ भन्दाखेरि वाइफले चाहिँ थोरै बोल्यो हुन्थ्यो नि हामीलाई भने, अनि वाइफले चाहिँ बोल्दैन भन्ने चाहिँ घरमा हुन्छ। ठ्याक्कै यो पाठले जे भनेको छ एकदम ट्रु छ, मेरो केसमा 100% ट्रु। मलाई मनमा चाहिँ वाइफले के सबै भन्नु पऱ्यो भन्ने हुन्छ कि, वाइ डज सी निड भन्ने हुन्छ, वाइ डज सी निड भन्ने हुन्छ, किन भन्नु पऱ्यो भन्ने हुन्छ। अब उनलाई के हुन्छ, यति पनि नभन्ने मेरो हस्बेन्डले अनेस्ट भएन नि, त्यही त लुगाएर होला भन्ने हुन्छ। So this is very true in my case. I don't know how is the case with you. You go home and interview your parents. Momलाई सोध्यो, ड्याडीलाई सोध्यो, यो पाठ पढ अनि इन्टरभ्यू दियो। मम्मी यस्तो हुन्छ, ड्याडी छैन भने सोध्यो, अलि पढ्दैछ। ओके, अर्को पाठ हेरौँ त। Boys will be boys in order to be. अनि अर्को women have what it takes. डार्विन रेग्मी यहाँको ए आज गर्छु भनेको थिएँ त गर्दैछु, कसैले गरौँ न त। प्रसिद्धले पाठ पाए ल यही गरौँ। women have what it takes. प्रसिद्ध BBIS women have अनि यो गर्दाखेरि यो पाठ किताब खोल्ने मोबाइल लिएर नआउने स्क्रिनबाट नबोल्ने किताब खोल्ने अनि प्याराग्राफ वाइज मुभ गर्ने पेज नम्बर 219 अनि आयुष राज बजाचार्य तिमीलाई स्थान पर्दैन प्रशंसा भट्टराई अनि ऐश्वर्या बुढाथोकी रौना ढुङ्गाना राजीव गुरुङ भइसक्यो रोहित कौशल रोहित अभिनव खड्का आरसी लामिछाने तिमीले गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ स्नेहा महर्जन उज्जवल महर्जन मैले पाठ कलाइदिउँ भनेर हेरिरहेको छु कि दुईजनालाई दिन खोजे हो एकजना गर्नु दुईजनालाई गरौँ ल उज्जवल र एन्ड्रोगाइनस यो पाठ मैले कलाइदिएँ भने एउटा उज्जवललाई दिएँ तिम्रो साथी को छ तिम्रो साथी को तिमीसँगै कसैको प्रेम हुन्छ क्लासमा तिम्रो अर्को साथी पाइँदैन को साथी केटाकेटी जो भने हुन्छ ल उज्जवलले तिमी अर्को गर्ल्स भनेर कोसँग गर्न चाहन्छौ रोजेर के फरक पर्छ र हाँसोबाट केही छैन क्लासमा चाहिँ रोजेको हुन्छ र के भगवान् तिम्रो दिमाग के भइरहेछ बोला नि सल्लाह अबले जिस्काएर पर्ने प्रसिद्ध मोनालिसा है त उज्जवल मोनालिसा सरी उज्जवल अनि तिमी के गर भने आउँदाखेरि यो किताब खोल अनि प्याराग्राफ पढ्छौ कि आँसु जस्तै प्याराग्राफ पढ्छौ टेक्स्टमा देखाऊ कि कहाँ भनेको छ मलाई ओके मोबाइलबाट नपढ्नु नेटको पढ्दा मात्रै नभन्नु ल अनि प्रिन्सेस एन्ड द एडमिरल चाहिँ यो तिमीलाई दिएको च्याप्टर चाहिँ द एन्ड्रोगाइनस मेल पेज 2 to 3 अनि द प्रिन्सेस एन्ड द एडमिरल म गर्छु भन्ने कोही छ गर्ल्सले गरेको राम्रो गर्ल्सले गरेको राम्रो प्रेम गरेर बाँकी दुईजना बाँकी छ हो बाँकी छ है तिम्रो नाम के हो नानी तिम्रो नाम ऐश्वर्या अनि तिमीले गरेको पाठ द प्रिन्सेस एन्ड द एडमिरल हेलो आस्मा र ऐश्वर्या द प्रिन्सेस अनि तिमी पनि प्याराफ्राइज जाने किताबमा देखाउनै गएको छ अनि द ग्रेटर गड सानो पोइन्ट एकदमै सजिलो छ कसले गर्छ बोइज एकजना बोइज ल रौनक के गर्नु सानो पोइम छ अब चाहिँ यो च्याप्टर 5 को द न्यू अमेरिकन ड्रिमर दुईजना खोजे मैले गर्नु ल अभिनव र आयुष्मान अभिनव कहाँ छ अभिनव आयुष्मान गए द न्यू अमेरिकन ड्रिमर्स पेज 241 अनि तिमीले मोबाइल लिएर पढ्नु मिल्दैन बुक पढ सुन नोट भन्ने पनि होइन तिमी किताब अगाडि खोलेर प्याराफ्राइज भन्ने हो अबदेखि हरेक प्रेजेन्टरले यहाँ बुक अगाडि खोल्ने र प्याराफ्राइज भन्दै जाने यस्तो प्रेजेन्टेसन त्यो पावर पोइन्ट गर्दैन हुन्छ पावर पोइन्ट गर्दैन हुन्छ You can make PowerPoint presentation. Okay, त्यसपछि ल यो someone is stealing your life को बाँकी छ अब आशुतोष ल ल आशुतोष प्लस सजेस्ट गर न आयुष ल आशुतोष एकजना गल गरौ त ल तिमी कसैको प्रेजेन्ट गर्ने ल एकजना गरौ ल प्रशंसा एउटा एक्स्ट्रा रोड लिदेऊ ठीक छ सेभेन टेकल हो त्यही भयो ओके आशुतोष प्रशंसा भयो अनि आशुतोष पेज 251 someone is stealing your life अनि आशुतोष यो यहाँ चाहिँ यो प्याराफ्रेज फलो गर्नुपर्छ अनि our schedules ourselves को बाँकी छ अब नाम लेख्नु र रेकमेन्ड गरौ न सबैले गर्छौ अनि the race to know कसले गर्छ दुईजना the race to know बाँकी को छ sorry भइरहेछ हेलो तिम्रो बस त पहिले राजीवले गर्ने ल
सानो पोइम रहेछ
अनि पढ एउटा मिठो स्टोरी छ जम्मा एक पेजको ओके अब हामीले होल कोर्स असाइन गरिसक्यो भोलिबाट दन प्रेजेन्ट र कसैले पनि प्रेजेन्ट गर्दा किताबमै गर्ने प्याराफ्रेज गर्ने सबै पढ्ने